Okay. No. Just I have a wheelchair. You wheelchair? Hello. Live? Not yet, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's real.
Huh? Okay. So why you turn it on now? Because 15 11.
Sure. Sure.
Sure. Come.
Lomanam Gumbo Jamba Yamba Janza Yambo Gandhi Londre Demian Janda Indra Nanda Rosai Jinyan Jijan Sijin Yeje Doka Nengbang Kanda Sibi Tambara Mari London Dumbai Jise Dozo Pemla Puji Damse Yana Junju Yanden Zon Dodaranji Nemo Nino Leji Chanjo Dunze Pare Manse Domban Jingen Junze Rangi Dene Majin Sajin Denden Lezo Jasin Janda Janda Janyen Jinde Nale Manzen Jambe So, as usual, this first we need to generate this bodhicitta in this way for the sake of motherly sentient beings in order to lead them to complete enlightenment. We're gonna listen this Mahayana scriptures, which is composed by Shantideva, called Bodhicharyavatara. And from there, whatever I understood, I'm going to try my best to put into practice in my life, day-to-day life. With that kind of intention, then listen this teaching. So the teaching and where we are is that among the 10 chapter of this Bodhicharyavatars, as I said yesterday, this all 10 chapter can be contains with the 4 main subject or the theme. And within that 4 theme, all of this Bodhicharyavatars point are containing. So the four points are that the first that persons who doesn't cultivate the bodhicitta within themselves, for them to how to cultivate this bodhicitta. And then second, how to maintain that after once cultivate this bodhicitta, then in order to maintain, what are the things that what are the way or the methods that we can maintain that bodhicitta. And then the third one is to not only just trying to maintain, but also trying to improving or increasing all these bodhicittas, how to improve or how to enhance its quality. So, and then fourth one is to dedications. So within this four main theme or the subject that all the Bodhicharyavatara's point can be condensed within these four. So among these four, that right now we are in the first theme, that the persons who are not cultivating bodhicitta yet, so in order then to cultivate bodhicittas, so what are the informations that we need to understand, and what are the methods how to receive them bodhicittas, and all this first theme. This first theme is explained in the 3 chapters among the 10. So first chapter is mainly the first chapter. The theme of the first chapter is to introduce the potential or the beneficial of bodhicitta and why we need to have this bodhicitta, why it is important to have within oneself. And then the second chapter is to now, after we understood this benefit and the importance of the having within oneself, then what are the things that we need to prepare in order to have it within oneself? And that second chapter main subject is talking about the preparations to cultivate, in order to cultivate or to generate bodhicitta within oneself. What are the preparations that we need to done before we generate or before we cultivate within oneself? And then Shantideva was saying, so since this bodhicitta is some sort of like a very precious and like important, so therefore, and the persons whoever wants to have it this within oneself, and they also have to have enough merit and enough purified their obscurations. So these are the two main things that how one has to prepare in order to generate bodhicitta within oneself. And the accumulating merit and purification of the obscurations. And first here it begins with the accumulating merit. Then in order to have this bodhicitta within oneself, we need to have enough merit in order to have it. So in order to accumulate merit, what we need to do and how we can accumulate merit, then is guiding us, that guideline, guiding us that all these methods that you can use to accumulate merit. And within many different methods that which he guiding us, that firstly is guiding us with accumulating merit with the offering actions. So we are here with the method of accumulating merit through the offering actions. And now again, within the offering actions, and he also guiding us, there are many different ways that you can practice offering. You can engage yourself into offering actions. And then, how to say, when he's guiding or instructing the methods how we can engage oneself into offering actions, then firstly he's giving these 5 different methods that how one can engage into offering actions. And 5 main methods of the way of offerings are this. First, it's called the real or the actual present offering. This is the one. Now you need to keep these main 5 names. If you keep it, then you will know all the ways. What does it mean? Then you can understand the how to say, this kind of very elaborate teachings comes in these sutrayanas. But all of this method, whatever, we also needed this method in Vajrayana practice too. In Vajrayana practice, they are not elaborating like this way, but however, the contents of all these things is in there. For example, since we are doing some sort of like sadhanas, like Guru Ruji talk, for example, like tomorrow we're going to do, every 10th day we are doing, like those all sadhanas, it has this offering. And when that offering, it has all these methods are there actually. That all the 5 ways of offering that which Chandideva is describing in here in Sutrayana text, that first let me tell you here. First way of offering is either we can say real or the actual present offering. This is the one way of offering. Real or actual present offering. And then the second way of offering, engaging, offering is either we can call the imaginary or mental create offering. Mental create offering or the imaginary offering, imaginations offering or the mental create offering. And then the third way of offering is the aspirations offering. The aspirations offering. And then the fourth way of offering is the unsurpassable offering. Unsurpassable offering. Kind of like a unsurpassable, I don't know what to say. Unsurpassable. Kind of like an ultimate offering, maybe just say. But here we don't use this ultimate, we use this unsurpassable offering. Okay? You need to keep these 5 main ways of offering. Then, when you want to engage into offering actions, then you need to know any of this one you are doing it, or you are doing all of them together. And most of those Vajrayana sadhanas, the sadhana itself has this all instructions letting us do all of them most of the time. This in the sadhanas, it's including that. So the unsurpassable, the fourth way of offering, engaging into offering action is the unsurpassable offering. And the fifth way of engaging into offering is it's called the I write it down here in English. The offering of the pleasing melody. Pleasing melody. Sometimes they translate it the offering of the praising song. They use that, but I think melody is better than song. The the offering of the pleasing melody. And that's also in sadhanas we have that when we do this sadhanas just with the melodies, right? And some offering we do with the melodies. That is, yeah. This is, I'm just talking on the side, okay? This is not here, we need to mix here. Vajrayana, just leave it for a while. We are here focusing on the Sutrayana teaching. But why I am telling you this, since this way of elaborate method, in starting all this way of offering in elaborate way are here in this. In Vajrayana sadhanas, they just tell the exact how to do, not much explanation. So therefore, you need to understand all this. This also this idea is also kind of like a little bit proving that in order to practice the Vajrayana, you need to have a base, the Sutrayana's text understanding. Okay, so so now you need to understand this 5 ways of engaging oneself into offering action. Among these 5 ways, and Shantidevas, right now we are in the first one, the real or the actual present offering. So how to engage oneself with the real or actual present offering actions. And then yesterday we gone 2 of them. Within that first way, he explaining there's also 3 ways you can do it. Real or actual present offering, you can do with your belongings. As I told you already, that has to be done with the 3 perfect. Yesterday I told you, remember, right? With the 3 perfect. Perfect object, perfect intention, perfect substance, or perfect offering. Within these 3 perfect, you can done the actual present offering with the one's own person. And the actual present offering, one's own one's belongings. And then another way of engaging into actual present offering is to offering those that not belonging to anybody's. Such as like here yesterday we explained this, like waters, rivers, oceans, mountains, flowers, and anything that desirable things, maybe we can say like desirable, maybe. So maybe rather than desirable, we just use nice things, any kind of nice things like flowers, fragrance, and then trees and fruits, waters, mountains, any kind of those actual present, but not belonging to yourself or not belonging to anybody's. Kind of like these kind of things also you can make it offer. This is a little bit kind of like it looks like seems like the second category, which is imaginary or the mental create offering, but it is not talking about the mental create offering. Mental create offering is way more better than that. This is all that which we can see that we are offering. So therefore, this is also categorized within this actual present offering. And within the actual present offering, also there's that another way that he's Shantideva is guiding us within this 8th stanza and 9th stanza. This 2 stanza is guiding us to another way of engaging oneself into actual present offering actions. How? Then here, the enlightened ones and all your bodhisattvas, bodhisattva hearers, right? This is the object, the perfect object. I offer you my body throughout all my life. Supreme courageous ones, accept me totally, for with devotion I will be your slave. For if you will accept me, I will be, what is that? What is that? What is it? What is this? Undaunted by samsara. Undaunted. What does it mean?
Courageous, free, fearless.
Fearless. Undaunted by samsara. For if you will accept me, I will be undaunted by samsara, and I will act for being sec. I will leave behind the evil of my past and ever after turn my face from them again back. So this is kind of like a promising. So this is the way of kind of like a actual present offering, but in a third way. So now these are the options. He's giving us many options. There are many ways that you can engage into these actions, the actual present offering actions, or the real offering actions. Maybe we can use that, real offering actions. So now, here we need to understand this. What does it mean that I will be your slave? For with devotion and like a voluntarily, I will be your slave. What does really mean? Then I'll tell you this with the one history here. So listen carefully, and at the end, I will just gonna tell all this history, then I'll see at the end whether you get it or not. That proves how I am telling to you, and that also proves how you are listening. So let me tell you with this understanding, this stanza, with this history. So this history is related with the Shakyamuni Buddha, that once upon a time, that when Shakyamuni Buddha was residing in this Jalukap is in India, that nearby Bodh Gaya. I think what you call this in Sanskrit, in Indian name, I forgot now. In Tibetan we use this Jalukap. Rajgir, yes, the Rajgir, which is nearby Bodh Gaya. While he is residing in Rajgir, and Jalukap, Chakalendalan Nisan Shusos, they say, Yul Kosala. There's a one householder. His name is Damashintir. That's his name. And he is so rich. And he's very kind of like a disciplined himself. Kind of like very disciplined, very rich, and high caste. At that time, the caste has a very concern. But however, he is high caste. Zemba, rich worship days. Dela pumene halula so the tatam jitena chubachene pulang so. And then Damashenzer, he doesn't have any son in the future to possess his own belongings. And that's normally that how families has the story or the concern. In the future, who is going to take care of my belongings? This is very funny, but anyway, unnecessary worry, but we worry. He's also worried, you see. Okay. Anyway, we do worry. Okay, fine. He's also worrying that that in future, who is going to take care, possess all my belongings from now, before he get old and die. And then he really wants one son to take care of all his things well. Therefore, he tried to do all sorts of methods, whatever ideas is there to showing from others, or whatever ideas there to get the son. And he's trying everything. And he tried like this way also in a kind of like a Kimdate, Halu Kunla, Ying should the Lambe, Chi, They Chuma Simpson number 2 days, Dawatani, put you Susama Tananduba, Jidina Gumbashi Chung days, thinking at them at 10 pesos, thinking Jijang Sendam, Nijade, Pui Ming Yang, Tenchila, Shishao Tasos. And then he tried many different methods, ways to get the son. And also he tried that householder, Lama Shenze, that he offered to all these worldly gods and nagas, and he made all this offer from his bottom of heart. And then he really supplicating them to grant son to me. And he did all these things. And because of that, and after a while, that his wife got pregnant. And then after 9 months, that she delivered the boy. And then the boy was so nice and beautiful, and kind of like a, born as a very beautiful one boy. And also that and then at that time they used to consult to the astrology to see that how his sons and right now and how his future will gonna be. And then the rich householder Dama Shenze, he consults one astrologer to see the sign of his son. And then the astrologer saw the very great sign in his son. And therefore, astrologer named him that Denjila. That's Denjila, that son, his son name. His name is Dama Shentre, and his son name is Denjila. Sheshawa Tasos. Söke de Cherke Badam, Galbo Sarjal ki Pashine, Kyode, Galbu, Kaigor, Galbor Chubos. And then at that time, this rule in a king in India, it's like that. No matter whoever householder, if they doesn't have any son, then all their belonging wealth will gonna take care by king. And king will be controlled that who will gonna honor next. And then the Denjila, when he grew up, his father Dama Shense passed away. And when he passed away, then that king of this region, that Rajgiri king, then he gave all this kind of like a, this is same, still we are doing here, you know? Yes, different person. Right now, government doing that. At that time, king doing, same thing. Right now, government control that bank information, everything, and transfer to the son's name. But at that time, only son, no daughter. That's different. If you have daughter, no, daughter is not the honor.
Nothing.
Son is only the honor at that time. That's different. But however, this system we do is still same, different way, as I told you. Right now, we're doing by government. And really government may be somebody. Somebody same like king. If we really go inside. Anyway, but the system is very same. That at that time, controlled by king, right now, controlled by government. And if the householder doesn't have any son, relatives, then government will own all his belongings, right? Same like that. And then this king gave all fathers, that then Damashense, who passed away, his belongings to his son, Tenjila. Give means doesn't mean anything like that. So maybe right now it's also like that. Just sign the paper, one paper, and give it that paper and transfer all the number. This is also funny right now nowadays that sometimes I just curious, unnecessary worry, kind of like a concern. But I may think that right now in this world we have so much money. But if we really want to put all this in a paper, I think we don't have this in the paper. All just numbers going there and here. Computer sending these 3 numbers there, 4 numbers there. We are just playing with the numbers. Sending number from here to there, maybe America to Canada, sending some number, and Canada sending some number to America, and international, all like that. Just sending some numbers here and there, and people will be satisfied looking at that number. By the way, anyway, so and then that king gave all his belongings, not his belongings, his father's belongings to him. 대다른 파이고를 자배왕구르와나 평kim군 rumbuchi na dundu yote bangsu. He became the owner of his father's property. But how to say, even though father is already rich, father is very rich, father is very kind person, very disciplined person. But since he owned all his property, then again, there's all the wealth multiplied into many, that how to say, many, so many than what he already had. When he became owner, and from then, kind of like automatically, that he became much more rich than his father. Kind of like a that we cannot imagine how much wealth he had. That rich he became. They say, Yalbu say, at that time, when he became like this over-rich, at that moment, this king of the Rajgiri, he had one son. His son called this name Banduriya. Actually Banduriya is Lapid Lazuli, right? He named his son Lapid Lazuli. By the way, his son's name is Lapid Lazuli, Banduriya Sheshawa. And his son got a disease that, what do you call it? It's how we name that heat disease. Some sort of like a heat disease. Fever, kind of like say fever. Like all body is getting very heat. No reason getting very heat, that kind of disease. And then this doctor checked his son's disease, and doctor prescribed to the king that your son needed this kind of medications. Its name, the medicine names actually is sandal, kind of like a one type of sandalwood. It's called Goshirka sandal. The one type of sandal. Sandal has also many types. It's called Goshirka sandalwood. Your son, in order to cure your son's disease, you need that medications, and you need to apply this sandal wood to his body, and that will cure this heat disease. And then king give the notice to all his region, that whoever has this, whatever he got the prescribed from doctor, whoever has that sandal, Goshika, give me, I will give you 1,000 coin of the gold. That king advertised like that. Shemede Jabu Yulmila, Dikeji Kartasus, Chusula, Goshirka, and then Yuna, Jalbula Pujita, Chaga Sesantong Jino, Shekundu Gonas, that he advertised, it is not that. Announce, yes, it's better. He's advertised. He announced that. But nobody has that. Therefore, he didn't get anything, any response to him. Chig Tsamlayang Majumos, Deitana Chigi Jalula Digejemeso, Yul Kosala Kimda Denjila Kimna Mandu Yudu, she never announced. And then at that time, one person came to king and said that in Yul Kosala, that small region, Kosala, that where this Denjila reside, and one people came to king and told to king that in the region of Kosala, there is a Denjila. He have this kind of sandal, many. So you can ask him to get it. And then Jalgo Nitai Tegwalashin, the senden on the chesos. And then when king heard that message, and king himself ride the horse and went to him. And when he get close to his nearby his property door, Kimda the Gorchimbada, Kimda the Gona, Gosum Dagi, Jalgo Sarjan Dilshede, Tata Chirona Shusu Shimebadans. And then all this servant, he have a many servant, he is very rich. And those servant lady went to him and messaged that, oh, our king came to our property, our home, nearby our home. And then Denjila, he pleased so much, and he himself came out to invite king inside. Kimda de Randu Gane Gorjun de Jalgo Namdu Susos. Jalgo Gorchin de Tena, Gomi Yamule. Door is made by silver. Whole door is made by silver. And then inside that door, and he saw many beautiful ladies, kind of like they so beautiful, which are kind of like rare, very rare in this world, kind of. There's a one very beautiful woman sitting on the kind of like a chair, and which is also made by silver, and she is just walking. She is just color that we used to make it some, right? That thread, and she is just walking in a thread, kind of like a sewing something or whatsoever. She making the thread. Tuna nacho samo chuyang yo shede jaldo de tone kenda da de chuji chuma yinam shetina mainde gosung chemo yino shemesos. And then when king saw all this beautiful lady, also kind of like there are 10 different servants helping her to make this thread. And when king saw this young beautiful lady, and king asked him, "Is this your wife?" And then he said, "No, this is not my wife. These are all servants." Ona nachung samu dida chila goyo she china teni chinang dubi no juba ino she mesos. And then why you have all this kind of ladies here? And he just replied, this I need to have. How to say? I need kind of like when people are come and go out, that they will tell me that who is in and who is out, like that. They will taking care of my properties. That I need them to take care of my properties, because he have a very big properties. Shemeso. Tene yang go rembachi gi nam do chin de tenas go ni benduria tending le shedes. And then he went inside, and further he saw another door. Another door which is made by lapis lazuli. That all project blue in color. Going naurona nachung samu na duba ngama we yang haba yo nachung samu ngama we chedi mawashi logos. And when he entered into that, opened that door, he saw again much more beautiful than before he saw that the outrange, kind of like outrange, that which he saw before. And now he saw the much more beautiful than the before, and also kind of like many servants surrounded to her. Yo nachung samu mama vechi mama shidugos. Tene yang go rimbachi chinde tena go yang selechedes. And further he went inside. Again there's another door, kind of like there's many doors. And then that door is made by gold door. Serlechedes. Goi naurona nachung samu tala dupa ngama venya shindu habashi seljichilan dugde selji thagos. Yeyana nachung samu yo cheba ngama venya shindu mawe kinda tela te choji chuma inam shechina eya maino she mesos. And then when he opened that golden door, then again he saw there are so many beautiful women. And then one woman, very beautiful, sitting on the chair made by gold, and she is making the gold thread. And surrounded by also many different servants. And then king asked, "Okay, now is this your wife?" And he said, "No, none of these are my wife." He's not married yet at that time. "None of these are my wife." She mesos. Then chimjinando chinde tenas sashi benduriale chebashin salwani chui dogan rades. Tengi kambala chenzenji zodan chusinda nyala sobe surchande lungi kyone gulwe sunyin sajila namos. Jabe yanda chui nyam sam digechin so chine metam chinyena kombinando zimbuki she meso. Injil neba teni chumala de bendria tendimo she mene largi to book the thing borrow. Oh, sorry, no. He married already. Sorry, I'm mixing a little bit history here. And then when he opened that golden door, and king saw is all the floor is made by lapis lazuli, all the floor, and then floor all looks like a blue, like a water, kind of like an ocean. And then in a roof, he had many different kinds of like a doll animals, like those fake animals, and he hang up all these things. And all these different animals like the fish and all those fake fish, with the beautiful decorations that he hang on the roof, and all their kind of like what do you call it? Their shadow or their reflection seeing very clear in floor, because floor is made by leopard lazuli, right? And then king got a little suspicious and he didn't went in. He asked, "What's the problem inside your house? Why all this is flat?" And he said, "No, this is not flat. This is leopard lazuli." And he take off his what do you call it? Bracelets and throw it on them. No water, right? He just throw his bracelets and prove that this is not water to king. And then he invite king inside. So this idea, this history also give us some idea how to make nice house too. That way we can make nice house. The door is made by silver first, then made by leopard lazuli second, then made by golden third, then whole inside floor is made by leopard lazuli. Anyway, so that kind of very beautiful house, he invite king inside. And then Gyalbu Dedabusine Kambinando Shade, Muchina Dinji Kambinando, Bandroya tending the Tishan and Gyabushu solos. And all the decorations, many different jewelers' decorations are there inside the house. And then he offered one seat to king. And then Kimda Chumayam, then Andubale, and Migne Chima Chuana, Gabu Chi, Migne Chima Chum. Now, when the gum, Chini, Shetina, Kimda Chume Soba, Yabu and Dirsheban Lete, Ghana, Yabu Nasara, Tiba Chunse Chi, Troy, Migne Chima Chungis, Yabune Pong Itzawa Malasos, Yabu Meba, Chi Chuji Chimna Metam and Mividams, Meba Mema Chiso, Ona Kase Chishigio, Meba Kasene Sambatamji Kaze, Roger and then Barang Chumos. So then this is very funny here, that then he made his wife inside that house. And then wife is crying when king sit on the chair. Wife is little crying. This tears is coming out from his eye, she's eye. And then king asked her, "Why are you crying?" Actually, she's not crying. The tear just come out from her eyes. And then king asked her, "Why don't you cry? Why are you crying? Are you not happy by visiting me here?" And then she said, "No, that's not the problem. That presenting yourself here is some sort of like that I feel very glad, but yet from your body and clothes that I smell the smoke. Therefore, this tear is come out." And then king got amazed, and king said, "Isn't it in your house somebody cooking with the fire?" When the king has some smoke smell, because in king palace they also cook the food, right? And then that lady say, "No, that we don't need to cook here anything. Food will just come. They are not cooking anything in house. Therefore, this lady is more than queen actually." The Dangela may be serving her very well. And then, however, so this is kind of like that. This is just show. Semo Mumbinando Chichi Pong Guru, Neba, Naburum Buji, Nawa Gurus, Gochena Yankarkun and Naburum Buji, Virgin Muna Namos. Then, Tenjili, Pumuni Sala 2 days. And these are some sort of like they are just a little bit showing off to the king that what they have in their house. She is just showing off some. And then this householder, Denjila, then he bowed down in front of the king and asked him, now, why are you here to me? Why reason? And then he asked the reason. Then king told him that my son got sick. Prescription, the Goshirka sandalwood. So I didn't find anything in my region. So I came here to ask you some. And then the Tenjila invite king to his storage and show many of this sandal. And Tenjila offered him that how much you needed, just grab it from there. And king said, I just need 2 of them. So king took 2 of them. Actually, at that time, this king was also very good, kind king. Okay, this will come later. He took just 2. He said, I need only 2 of them. So I will grab 2 of them. And Kimda ki sheba pulos. Then Galgolar sheba them. Kimda de la Chu Sanje da to the Sonshi je goes. And then when king about to leave, then king told him that, did you ever meet Buddha Shakyamuni? And then king recommend him, you better to go visit Shakyamuni Buddha. He is there right now, present. And Kinda Demeba, Sangye Shechawa Jidavu, and then Denjila asked king, who is Sangye and what is Buddha? Who is Buddha and what is Buddha? And then king explained a little bit about Buddha. And king said, don't you ever know who is Buddha? In our, call this Chongkir, means kind of like a city, where this Serkya, that where Shakyamuni Buddha's his palace. The Serkya Gyabo Setsami se Gawa da Nawa Shiva la Kyone Rabdu Chung the Changshu and Intention Umber Sangi Chen Sambu Sumju Zani the Pages Sambu Jeju Gembani Juji Kamba and Yeshin Peda Mede Hadami Zor Yube Sange Shishawos. Then he explained a little bit meaning why it's called Buddha. And didn't you hear that in that Onkir city called Serkya, that king, the son of the king, the princess, that who renounced from old age and sickness and the death, and then he became ordained and he practiced, he achieved enlightenment. And then right now, presently, his body is possessed with all this, beautiful kind of like qualities, and that's we call Buddha. The king just explained a little bit to him and recommend him to go visit him. And Kimda Digejime Batune Shilu Devisem Kedes. And when that Denjila heard about this explanation and Buddha, name of the Buddha, and he felt a little faith by hearing his name. And Gyagola Sangyatanda Kana Shusha Sovada, and he asked him where he resides right now. And Gyabumeba, Tanda Gyabuka Mitsam Shuzos. And then king responded, right now he is in a Rajgir. He is residing in a Rajgir. And Gyalgo Shigma Tabu Kindate Sangye Kana Shuba Derson and Chimbadams. And after king left, immediately he went to Rajgir to visit Shakyamuni Buddha. And then Sanji Jikula Tana, Jalokun Shindu Tabatone, Gagu Rande, Bodhicharyavatara Yun Sodos. And when he saw first time Shakyamuni Buddha, and just by looking his body outlook, then he saw the much more handsome and greater quality than the rest of the kings. And he amazed by seeing his kind of like outer look. And then he just went there and asked some questions, just like we are asking hello, hi, like that. We just ask like that. At that time, they're asking question like that, are you healthy? This is their question. And then, after Shakyamuni Buddha gave some advice to him, he's there to receive some advice from Shakyamuni Buddha. And Kimda Tian Jundu Shuba Toba Judays, the Pumoni Salatun Jumdendela Rabdu Juma Sodo. Then after a few days, then he's visiting again and again. And then one day that Angela he Chumden Devijan, Lebor also Shikazawa dance, and then Shakyamuni Buddha also accepted and he ordained him. Tadan Kabur Anchi de Gelon the Judos. Then Debashi Chili Baratembe, and then Shakyamuni Buddha shown all this Dharma, the teachings, like the Four Noble Truth. And then Denjila himself, he put into practice. And then, not a very long time, he achieved this Arhat stage. Jemayon Suta the judgment Judos. Then Kunga with the Kormo and the Jumdendela the Kechi Sodos. Gelong Denjila, the Sonam Chishigina, Minam Gela, Pai Shudan Denia, Kimna Macha, the Ramchum Gani, the Mata the Jebuto Judos. And then they're a little curious about Denjila. That and Ananda asked the question to Shakyamuni Buddha, that raised this question to Shakyamuni Buddha, why this Denjila Bhikshu, why this Bhikshu Denjila, he has so much merit that he born in a human. And not only that, also he's possessing, owning, possessing, or kind of like a equal to the wealth of the God. They say this kind of like very immeasurable wealth he have, right? Therefore they say, why he own like a wealth like a God? And then even having all this wealth, why he not so attached to those wealth, and he decided to become a ordained. And after he became ordained, still not taking so long, how he achieved this arhat. Why these are very kind of like happening, all this only favorable things to him. And then now this responding this question. Shakyamuni Buddha, Chumdende ji kunga ola katsalba shinduli par nyunjis. And Shakyamuni Buddha say, well, now listen carefully, I will tell you why. And then Shakyamuni Buddha started this. When Devi Kalpa Buchutsachi Devi Paranas, before that 91 eons before, did Paruna, Sangye number 6, in this planet that appears this Buddha called Sangye number 6. That's the Buddha's name. This Sangye number 6 is even before than all these 1002 Buddhas, actually. Way before. Shejawa Jigden do Shek days. Sangye day, Yangen day, Sonyen na Jubites. And after this Sangye Buddha called number 6, after he passed away, and then similar like this, Shakyamuni Buddha's, his idea also has a limit time. Similar like this, and rest of the before those Buddhas, their idea also has a limitation time. Their idea will remain until some time, and then after that we're gonna fade. Fade because people are not taking care. Fade because non-Buddhas are not taking care. Fade because we are not taking care. That's the point. Anyway, so that Shakyamuni Buddha's, the limitation of Shakyamuni Buddha idea is the 5,000 years. So now half of them are gone, according with the Sutrayana. This is completely accordance with the Sutrayana. Okay, don't mix it. Don't mix it, this history with another. Then when we talk from the little high, then this whole game will change. Story will change. Right now, we're talking about this accordance with the Sutrayana. Mainly these three basket teachings. How long it will gonna remain? This idea that which is turned by Shakyamuni Buddha. And Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings limitation is 5,000 years. And within those 5,000 years, first one in 1,500, second 1,500, third 1,500, and last 500. They also has a different like this. So the last 500 years is just considering kind of like a tatsam. Tatsam means the idea is not authentic remain there, just kind of like a not really pure idea. All is kind of like a contaminated, right? Mixed it, many different explanation and so on. People make them idea by themselves and they're making up all this. We are not keeping the authentic advice, what he really gave it. And we are making up all this. This is happening with the many religions. Jesus said they didn't maintain it yet. Now they make up all this. Oh, he means that. They add it. And later they say, this is what Jesus said. Like similar like that. And within a Buddhism, and that kind of things will gonna happen. It happened in the past. It will gonna happen right now, present, within this Shakyamuni Buddha's time. And this will gonna happen rest of the other Buddhas too. So, like that, and this Sangye, Buddha Namsik, his idea also has this kind of limitation. And then he passed away very long time ago. And then that his idea is kind of like this. His idea, the kind of like the last 500 years time period. At that time, this is Shakyamuni Buddha responding to Ananda and all of this. Now you listen careful. This now related with this stanza. Slave here. This is from slave, and we're going here. What does it really mean? Actually, the slave, we doesn't like to hear that slave, right? But here, tell you what really it means. Here. At that time, there's a 500 bhikshu. This is very degenerate time. That idea is almost about to fading than Buddha's idea. But still, there are 500 bhikshu are there. And those 500 bhikshu committed themselves to stay in a remote area, never go to the city. They committed themselves, stayed in a remote area, and then practice all this. Shechene, Tsalshigi Nana, Simana, Chuming Yobashidu, Wimbine Chede, Gelon de Dagi, Yutumber, Gelon Shila, Digeje Sovatabos. And then all this 500, they committed in that way, and then they went to the remote area, and then they requested one another bhikshu to help them while they are practicing and provide all the food and necessities to them. And all of those 500 bhikshu requested one another bhikshu, can you help us to provide all our food and necessities for us? So we will gonna stay in remote area. We will not gonna come in village or the city. Then he accepted that. Then Bhikshu accepted. Daja Gini and the Donkil Dang, Ringway, Tamji Sunyam Ladona Kun Yumonjis, Chu Sunyam Judge, and they requested in this way that where we are staying from this place to go to the village, it's very far. If all of us, all of 500 bhikshus, every day, if we go to the village to bake the food, then that take our time, each and everybody's time, wasting time. So therefore, can you please bake and carry all this food for us? So we're not gonna go. And he accepted. He said, I will do that. And every day that he is visiting to the village and to the town, and then he's giving all these teachings to the sponsors in the village. He's giving all teachings and collecting all the food and whatever necessaries from there. And he's carrying all this to that remote area to provide to all those 500 monks. This history reminds me that our Lord Holiness too. Our Lord Holiness putting all of us in Mandarin, and he's going to the town, teach and collect everything and bring it back and feed us. That's how I grow. That's how many other my friend is growing. Anyway, so he's doing that constantly every day, visiting to town and giving teachings and collecting food and everything and bringing back to provide to those 500 bhikshus who is really practicing there. And then they nane mishi lu leso no gomne shal buchu lembadan debu. And then they attain this very high meditation realizations. After 90 days, they achieved that. And then the yitumber gelon sunyam lomatila digeje goals. And then 4 of those Bhikshu who achieved some high realizations. And they asked him, they told him that now, because of your kind, I achieved this. Now, you can make any aspirations, I will fulfill your aspirations. Dachani choji chil rabdu dedes, tobal revi tingenzini atobjits, chochil member nyela choshita, choji lewakamu she goes. So they are until now very comfortable physically, and now also we are also very comfortable mind also, and now we all achieve those samadhis. And then now ask whatever you want, make it aspirations, I will fulfill your aspirations. And then at that time, he very pleased by hearing that. And then he said, in future, maombi tuna ha mirki jans, chujin longchodan dende, chibyoba tamji chedu, le majeba tamji rangeba yurjiks. Loben pagwadan chene, chöwe janjur tongjurdu, chötene, sem yonsu daji jebutoban yurji chemelan tabos. And then when he made these aspirations, he told them that he said, in future, as long as I born either in a god or human, within all those periods, may I become very rich. That may I possess very wealth, so much wealth. And then may I have all the necessaries, whatever I needed, just spontaneous, without effort. He made this, he now telling to this. And also he said, and then eventually I encounter with the Arhat, the great master Arhat. And then may I become hundreds and thousands more fortunate than you. Fortunate than you, and receive teaching than you, and achieve all those samadhi than you. Yeah, he made this demand, kind of like a demand. It just looks like a demand one way. But however, he really making that aspirations. That he made it aspirations. When they allow him to make aspirations, and he made aspirations in this way. Chomden de jikunga ola katsabas, eise deiduna, gelong tenjile, gelong toboshi, sonyam jarve, kalba guchu tsachi pardu, tadami nama chorik sumbar kedi, ushin pomberisum makesos. Daya mathoanzam deba tobar gyurtos, deitse na kunga ola, gelong chomden de sumba tene, soson and sundritsambe, jebu tambon and jebu shibi par tobos. Kajini jachim bisem ke de chim do bisala ne judo jonan de geji katsaba susun jesu yeran number gao kimda denjila shishari liude shijutsaji powers. And then now Shajaman Buddha saying, so this very Bhikshu Denjila is that person who demanded this. Because he became slave for those bhikshu. That's the meaning of slave, okay? Slave does not mean like we are thinking always walking under very order, like no, not like this. This is what it means, slave. He is slave. He is slave of these 500 bhikshus. Slave means now he is providing all the necessities for the practitioners. That's the slave here. Okay, don't take negative here. This actually in Tibetan we use this bang. Bang means actually bang is in Tibetan language. Slave and bang is a little different. Bang, when we say bang, it's not. We don't take as a bad as a slave. Slave we call yopo. Yopo and bang are two different, actually. But when they translate it, I don't think they have two words. So therefore they use this slave. Anyway, so therefore he provided all the necessities to the stage of sadhana, the samadhi. And then he made it this way, aspirations. Therefore, from there to until now, wherever he born, he always like that. Not only this life. He is always like that, rich. Until now, he came to Shakyamuni Buddha, that he made these aspirations, right? At the end, I may encounter with such a great teacher or heart, and then become 100 and 1,000 more better than your samadhi. That's how he became here. He achieved arhat. What you get before I'm explaining this. This is the meaning of slave. Actually, I should. Now, do you understand what it means here, slave? Right? Enlightened ones and all your bodhisattva heirs, I offer you my body throughout my life. That's the way of offering your body, okay? Don't think any other way of offering your body. This is the way of offering body. And also, this kind of things also comes in a Vajrayana's every empowerment, right? And at the end of the empowerment, then teacher letting you offer mandala, and not only the mandala, also offer all your belongings, including your body. This is what it means. Okay? So that's why I told you. In Vajra's those texts, if just as a word, it's feel like a strange. What does it mean? Offer my body? Offer your body means this history makes very clear what really means offer your body. This is the way to offer your body. Supreme courageous one, accept me totally, for with devotion I will be. So now, through this way, you can accumulate merit. And the result of accumulating by that merit, how much? You can imagine a little bit by hearing this history, that how big result you can achieve by engaging yourself into that kind of action. So now, this is the third way where we are talking about. We are talking about the real offering or the actual present offering actions. That we can engage into real offering actions or the actual present offering actions in this way. That now Shantideva is guiding us. There are these kind of many options that you can engage yourself into the actual present offering actions. Offering your belongings and offering the things which are not belongings to anybody, and offering your body. If you don't have anything, offer your body to become a slave. In that way, also you can practice yourself the Dharma with the actual present offering. But here also important, the right, the perfect object is always important, right? Sometimes those terrorists offer their body too. Yeah, they're offering, really. Isn't it? That's how they suicide. Because they encounter with the wrong object. That's why. Shantideva, he is making clear. You need to have a perfect object to offer your body. When you offer your body to the perfect object will never utilize your body in a wrong way. They never let you put some bomb and go in there. And also they will never gonna tell you to steal something. And also they will never gonna use your body in a very misconduct. Like that. And you also need to understand what really exactly mean offering body. Okay, now this also related with that. Since we also practicing Vajrayana path, in Vajrayana teaching at the end of the offering mandala, this often comes. Right? Now offer your all belongings and including your body. Because this is the most precious one that nobody can offer. Anybody okay to offer anything but not body. I cannot offer body. If you want anything, just tell me. But don't ask me to give this body. Right? In Vajrayana, saying this offer body, so it's proving that now you are representing the present. And offering body is also this way, not in a wrong way, okay? And therefore, Shantideva's instructions has this perfect object and perfect intention, and perfect offer. So the perfect offer, within the actual present offer, you can also choose these kind of many ways to engage yourself to accumulate merit through offering action. And within our offering, actual present offering. Right? Okay, then maybe now from here, it's not that difficult to understand. So since you have this main point that you need to have this three perfect is always needed to every offering, right? Right object, right intention, and right offer. Now from here, Shantideva is giving another idea, another way of engaging into the offering actions, which is imaginary or mentally create offering. Yeah. Now the second, among the 5 main ways of offering, now it is starting from here, the second way of offering, engaging oneself into offering actions. That second way is the mentally create offering, or the imaginary or created offering. And you can use. So now here, stanza number 10. A bathing chamber excellently fragrant, with even floor of crystal, radiant and clear, and graceful pillar shimmering with the gems. What is that? Shimmering with the gems. All in about with the flaming canopies of pearls. What does it really mean? Do you understand? Okay, so now from this stanza number 10, Shantideva is guiding the different way of offering. Okay? The second way of offering, which is mentally created offering. Now, in order to engage into mentally create offering, then you can do in this way. Now you can offer in this way a bathing chamber excellently fragrant, with even floors of crystal, radiant and clear, and graceful pillar shimmering with the gems. All whom, what is whom actually here? Whom? H-U-N-G. High. What does it mean? Whom? High. Oh, hang. Oh, hang past whom. Okay. All whom about with the gleaming canopies of pearls. Pearls. They're the blissful Buddha and their heirs to them, right? I will bathe with many precious vows, a brim with the water fragrance and delightful, all to frequent sting of melody and song. See, now this all mentally created offering. You can create the mentally created offering in this way. So you can imagine, now this is all offering through imaginations. You're imagining all the offering substance in this very nice way, and imagining Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are there, and now you are really doing bathing to them. And then continues with the clothes of unexampled quality. I don't know. How can we imagine now that? an example quality. Can you imagine some? Sorry. An example quality. There's no example for it in this book. Can you create it some? Can you create it in your mind? Yeah. With spotless perfume towels, I will dry them. Right? And offer splendid scented clothes, well dyed and surpassing excellence. All those. Now this offering the clothes. So it is like bathing, really doing most of the Vajrayana sadhanas that which we are doing this. So same idea of this. This is the method of engaging oneself into the action of imaginary offering or the mentally created offering. This way also we can engage into offering actions, which means this way also we can accumulate merit. These are the options that Shantideva is providing us, all different options that you can engage into offering actions in many these ways. With the different garments, light and supple, and the 100 beautiful adornments, I will grace sublime Samindabhadra, Manju Kosha, Lokeshwara, and their king. Their king, what is their king? Huh? Followers. Or followers or king? Families. Okay, king. So here he really took these three bodhisattvas names, right? Manju Gosha means Manjushri, and Lokeshwara, Avalokiteshwara, and Samindabhadra bodhisattvas, and their king, maybe their family. This is the one way that you can offer with the mentally created offering. And then from here, also different another options of offering the mentally created offering. And with the sumptuous fragrance which pervades 1,000 million worlds. Sumptuous? Sumptuous. Not delicious though. Sumptuous is not delicious. No. Sumptuous is some sort of like a sumptuous is luxury, yes. Luxury. Very many sumptuous. Tiger. We call it tiger. Fragrance which pervades 1,000 million worlds. I will anoint. What is that? Anoint.
When you go like this, anointing.
Anointing. Oh yeah. I will anoint the bodies of the mighty sage, gleaming bright like burnished gold, refined and cleansed. Okay, let me look here at the Tibetan word. leaves. Yeah. And with the sumptuous fragrance which pervades the 1,000 millions world, I will anoint and bodies of the mighty sage, gleaming bright like burnished gold refined and cleansed. These are easy to understand, right? Yeah. These are not difficult to understand. This way you can engage into the mental great offering. And likewise also that I place before the mighty sage perfect objects of my worship, glorious flower like lotus and mandarava, the utpala, and the other fragrance blossoms, worked and twinned in lovely scented garlands. I will offer swelling clouds of frankincense. Is it? Frankincense. Whose unbent perfume ravished the mind, and various food and every kind of drink, all delicious, worthy of the gods. I will offer precious lamb arranged in rows on lotus of gold, a carpet of sweet flowered ground. To those whose very nature is compassion, I will give vast place, resounding with the fair breeze, all decked with the precious pearls and beauties, right? Beauties? Is it beauty? Huh? What is that? What is that? Beauteous. What is that, Brenda? Beautiful? It's a beauties, right? Beauties. Pending gems, gleaming jewels that deck the amplitude of space. Fair and precious parasols adorned with the golden shaft, all bordered round with hems of precious jewel, upright, well proportioned, pleasing to the eye. Again, all this I give to all the Buddhas. Yeah, so this is not difficult to understand. Is it difficult to understand? Yeah. So this is now the way that you can engage yourself into the action of mental created offering. Right? Mental created offering, Shantideva shows kind of like two options. That first he optioned bathing, drying, and offering clothes. And the second, that offering all these necessities like food and music and waters and everything. The creating, imagining all this very nice and offering. You see, now this kind of offering, the mentally created offering, anybody can do that. In order to engage into that actions, it's not necessary that you need to have something. You know, people are never thinking that that kind of ideas is there that you may can engage into offering. That way also you can create accumulate merit and gain some wealth too. That history I told you how he became rich, how he gained all those wealth. And yesterday I told you that not necessarily hard work. Compared to the hard work and accumulating the little tiny merit, it's better to choose, if you have only one choice, then better to choose the accumulated merit rather than hard work, hardship. to gain some wealth in the future. Even this willing to gain some wealth is actually a very small aim. The action which has great potential, much more greater potential than that. But if you just make these small temporary aspirations, and that is a little bit sad for the best. You can even make greater, you can even look the far vision and make those aspirations. And these temporarily will come. And that kind of idea, and we may don't have that kind of ideas, that we may not understanding it can be done in this way. You see, that mentally created offering, that nobody is assuming that this way you can accumulate merit by engaging into offering. And likewise, also nobody assuming that it's better to make aspirations to achieve enlightenment than the just temporarily wealth. Making wish to gain some wealth. We can make it, but I'm saying that the action has a greater potential than that. We need to understand that. So better to make that greater aspirations than the small aspirations. Since that action is same, since that effort is same. So okay, so today we'll stop here. So far we complete this. Among the 5 main ways of offering, 2 of them we completed. And now further, there's also 3 ways of engaging oneself into offering actions and accumulating merits are there. So you see, within offering, there's so many options, choices that we can engage. And after we understand all this, so this kind of actions with the sleep, with the walking. So you see, that's why it's called, if you really know the skillful of the how to engage into spiritual, it is not difficult. When you don't know all these skills, then you may stuck with the oh, I must do this, otherwise there's no any other options that I can engage. So these are the many different ways that you can imagine, you can think while you work, while you sit, while you sleep, while you eat. Okay, so if you have a question, we can discuss.
It's really powerful. Really powerful, very good, very fast.
Good.
So that's called
Ultimate offering. Not ultimate, actually. Unsurpassable. Unsurpassable. Unsurpassable means that nothing is above, right? Nothing is better. Nothing is better than that. That's called unsurpassable, right? Unsurpassable. I thought I used the right word, right? Am I? Unsurpassable. Yeah?
Still don't get for you how many times you said body offerings.
Mm-hmm.
How? For example, if you offer some money as offerings, that's the actual offering.
Actual offering, yes.
And we do the 7th branch or this mandala, that's the
Imaginary or the mental create offering.
So where's the body?
No, if you just offer your body, means that if the Vajra masters ask you to do something, you're ready for that. Kind of like those 500 bhikshu ask him to do that, and he's ready for it.
Empowerment process is fixed.
Huh? In empowerment time. So empowerment time, I told you that in when we're repeating, we say after we offer mandala at the end, and we saying, right, not only mandala, in addition, also offer to all your belongings, even your body, right?
Just a promise itself.
Yeah,
But
promise,
we're not
just
actually
promise.
doing
No, you just offering. Be just okay. This is something very interesting here. You are just being there. That's you sufficient. You offered. Whether he take it or not, that not the what do you call it? That doesn't matter. Whether he take your body or not doesn't matter. You are ready there. It means that when you just make yourself ready, that fulfill the offering of your body. That finish. You are ready to become a slave, right? Slave. Slave is a little bit negative word when we hear, right? How can I make? I think it's better than just use this. Make yourself ready. Than slave, using slave, right? Make yourself ready if he needs something you to do for him. Like this, like those. But that action will be like these, not the everything. Action will be like this. This history tells you clear. When those, even those, okay, as I always telling you, we don't need to worry when you offer your body to the authentic masters. They will never ask you something nonsense. You don't need to worry about it. Yes, you need to check the Vajra masters definitely at the beginning, for sure. That's why we recommending to check, right? Investigate first before you make this offer, right?
Another question: why didn't that Bhikshu make an aspiration that he maybe gets the realization in that life or next life? Why did he have to make?
Maybe he wanna enjoy a little bit. Yes, you're right. He can make that aspiration. Why he wait until Shakyamuni Buddha, right? Buddha, the Namsik, right? Buddha Namsik. Between the Namsik and Shakyamuni Buddha, there are 3 Buddhas already. He didn't make it that. He wanna enjoy all of this until Shakyamuni Buddha. This is a little funny, right? But that's his choice. That we cannot say, oh, you cannot make that wish. No, we cannot say. That's his way, his choice, right? If you want to make wish like that, that's up to you.
That reminds me when we go to Thailand, the master venerable said, he's from Theravada tradition, he said you can make aspiration to go in the heaven until the next Buddha comes.
Yeah, that kind of aspirations is also there. Because, okay, this is funny to tell, but maybe it's the right time to tell since you raised these questions a little bit related to this. So those, we call those like Mahayanas and Theravadins practitioner, they have to make that kind of aspirations and wait. Vajrayana practitioner doesn't make that kind of aspiration. They just make aspirations within this life and trying to go. That's different, yes. Because we have the way, we have the path. Because within the Sutrayana, yes, better to make that aspirations because there's a no way, there's a no path that you can achieve enlightenment in a life. That's different. Therefore, many Theravada, Mahayana, Sutrayana practitioners, they make that aspiration. They also recommend their disciple to make that aspirations. Yes, but making that aspirations is okay. We can make that aspirations in case if I cannot, then maybe. Now we have two choices. Sometimes many choices make confuse, right? Just like here, these Western countries. When you go to the tea shop, it makes confuse us to choose one. If you go to India, just tell one tea. That's enough. They will give you everything on your table. They didn't raise any question. You need sugar or not, you need milk or not, you black tea, green tea, yellow tea. They didn't ask anything. When you ask tea, and after 1 minute, they will put a glass on your table. You got a tea. You see? No, this is, I'm just talking beside.
So the pre-perfect that you said, the first one object and the second intention.
Mhm.
The third one is what?
Offer. Perfect offer. Perfect offer means the best, whatever you can, without hesitations and regret. That makes perfect offering. When you understand? Not too much. Okay, so now we go. Sunamdi Damje Zibani, Domnenyabe, Danam Damjeji, Cheganaji, Walon Jubai, Sibin Sole, Doan Doa Show, Jambal Pali, Jitarakim, Kundo Zambo, Deya Deshinde, Deda Kunji, Jesu Daluji, Gewan Dida, Tamji, Tablu, Gewan Di, Sheo, Sunamdi, Shi, Sot. Sunam Yeshe, Lejunwe, Tamba Kuni, Obarashu, Sanje, Kuzuni, Bechinam, Chuni, Mingil, Dembechin, Lindin, Niche, Dembechinam, Jedaramoa, Malam, Obarashu. The great is English. By this beneficial activity, may I obtain omniscience, and having vanquished the harmful enemies, greed, anger, delusion, may I liberate all being tossed about helplessly by the waves of birth, aging, illness, and death in the ocean of becoming. By the conforming to the knowledge of courageous Manjushri, and following their example, I dedicate perfectly all this virtue. By this virtue, may all being perfectly achieve the accumulation of merit, sonam, and the wisdom, yeshe, and may they thereafter obtain the two holy bodies which result from these two accumulations. By the blessing of the Buddha someday, who obtained the three bodies, by the blessing of the immutable truth of the Dharmada, Chuni, by the blessing of the infallible aspirations of the Sangha, Gindin, may this prayer of dedications be accomplished just as it is. Thank you.